Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. In today's video we have a range of really exciting news, including an update for The Mandalorian Season 3, the return of Luke Skywalker, a brand new issue of Crimson Reign, and much more. So without much further ado, and without any more jibber jabber, let's get straight to the news. So we begin with an awesome update for The Mandalorian Season 3, after yesterday's insane episode of the Book of Boba Fett, directed by Bryce Dallas-Howard, which may as well have been the first episode of The Mandalorian Season 3, we now have exclusive news that she is going to direct once again in the upcoming third season of The Mandalorian. Her episodes across both seasons so far, and now the Book of Boba Fett, have been some of the most praised highlights of the entire series, so knowing that she's going to continue her directorial legacy in this show is an excellent piece of news. Bespin Bulletin broke this a few hours ago, along with several other outlets, and it confirms our suspicions after Bryce Dallas-Howard tweeted that she was back on set last week, but now we have confirmation that she is going to direct once more. Now in Chapter 5 yesterday, Bryce Dallas-Howard once again proves that she gets it. She understands from a director perspective what makes Star Wars special, and why The Mandalorian has been so successful. So many connections were made to Star Wars Rebels, the prequels, and the story of Din was furthered to tease what's to come in Season 3. We have so many questions, like is the Armorer going to be an adversary in the third season? Will Din Djarin attempt to find the living waters in the mines of Mandalore to atone for removing his helmet? Does the Armorer want Mando to rise to the challenge? And for this reason, just as much credit goes to Jon Favreau for writing yesterday's episode, which in my opinion, ironically, has been the best in the series so far. And Boba Fett wasn't even in this one, so go and check out my full episode breakdown for all of my thoughts on it. It was an absolute banger. Now we also have another massive piece of news for the Book of Boba Fett. Cinelinx have confirmed that both Grogu and Luke are going to appear next week. Chapter 5 heavily teased that Grogu is coming, Mando misses him dearly and has some chainmail for him, but they've also heard that Luke Skywalker is also in this season. Now we did get a major hint of Luke appearing yesterday because one of the two New Republic X-Wing pilots was played by Max Lloyd-Jones, who as we know helped to bring Luke Skywalker back in The Mandalorian Season 2 alongside Mark Hamill. And the fact that we saw him in Chapter 5 as a different character hints that he was also involved as Luke in the Book of Boba Fett. Now obviously they're going to use the same de-aging algorithm, and hopefully now that they've hired Sharmukh, the YouTuber who's done some de-aging CGI work, it's going to look even better than Season 2. Seeing Luke again is going to be an absolutely epic moment, although I really can't see him wanting to help Boba and Fennec take down the Pikes. I can't see why he as a Jedi trying to build an academy would particularly care, so it might just be a visit for Mando to see Grogu, and even if Grogu is not going to stay with Luke, Luke Skywalker's got his own thing going on, and I can't see him interested in the galaxy's underworld. So as we head into our final 2 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett, Boba, Fennec, Chrysanthemum, Din, and whoever else they get as allies must face the Pikes and whoever is on their side. Now you guys know I think Qi'ra is behind this, and a new tease might have reinforced that she is going to appear. StarWars.com have provided a preview for the upcoming second issue of Crimson Reign, the sequel to War of the Bounty Hunters. I've been covering them as they come out, and you guys have told me in the past that you enjoy when I go through them. Now in Crimson Reign's first issue, we learn from the mysterious archivist that the story of Crimson Dawn is one of tragedy, but she doesn't say that Qi'ra's story is, and the way they're setting up her character pre-Return of the Jedi makes me think that while Crimson Dawn falls apart, she in fact won't. I think that she's going to gain a stronger foothold in the galaxy's underbelly, and while we only get a brief glimpse of what happens in the next issue in this preview, we do learn quite a lot. Let's dive into it. In an exclusive first look at Crimson Reign issue 2, which as we know takes place between the years of The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, Qi'ra enacts a new plot. She wants to take down the Emperor himself, dispatching assassins chosen for their own emotional connections to the ruler of the galaxy. Now ultimately we know that she's going to be unsuccessful, but her intentions might give us insight to the ultimate goal. Margot, who was formerly part of Dryden Voss's concierge, who now acts as one of Qi'ra's advisors, mentions that the syndicates of the Shadow Collective have gone to war, and she name drops Black Sun and the Pikes. Deathstick notes that she is aware of this, and that the only 2 syndicates staying out of it are the Hutts and Crimson Dawn. Qi'ra then goes on a spiel about what motivates various people to kill, before explaining how she wants to see Palpatine fall because he was playing both sides in the Clone Wars and was ultimately responsible for the massacre of the Night Sisters that Grievous enacted. And while Qi'ra has her eyes set on the Emperor, she also mentions how she likes being a whisper in the scream of war. Now while the Crimson Reign comics are going to tell the story of Qi'ra up until Return of the Jedi, it's also going to be a tale of how she managed to end the conflict of the various syndicates and became became the head of a new collective, essentially taking the role of a former boss, the deceased Maul. I don't think it's a coincidence that the Pykes were chosen as the face of Boba's adversary in the Book of Boba Fett, and I wouldn't be surprised if these comics connect directly to the show. Now, even though they take place some years before the events of Boba, if Qi'ra does survive, by this point, she would be OP as hell. She has combat skills and trained under the tutelage of Darth Maul himself, and who knows what she's capable of at this stage. She may have risen from the flames of Crimson Dawn whenever they eventually do fall, and instead began a new order. Not to mention all of the other connections to the Book of Boba Fett, like Crimson Dawn's theme in the end credit music of every episode, and other small things like the mayor's chair resembling the Crimson Dawn emblem. Now, we just had another connection to Qi'ra, the Armorer. We know that the Armorer at one stage was a Maul loyalist when he ruled Mandalore, and we know this based on the horns on her helmet. She may know who Qi'ra is through the Maul connection, and you never know what possibility of story crossover that could have at a later date. We just have to wait for the full issue of this comic to release. I'm starting to truly believe that these comics are showing us how she became the ultimate criminal overlord in the galaxy's underbelly by the time of the Book of Boba Fett. Boba and Fennec may be trying to recruit muscle, but think of who the Pykes and Qi'ra have on their side. We know from the comics that she has the Knights of Ren, Deathstick, Ochi of Bestoon, and in my opinion, she may have hired Cad Bane. Time will tell how this theory plays out, but I've seen more and more people be on board with the Qi'ra theory, and I don't think they're setting up a story in the comics for nothing. They're really making her out to be a big deal. And so finally, my dear friends, some excellent news for the return of everyone's favourite protocol droid. Anthony Daniels has revealed on Instagram that he's doing a motion capture as C-3PO for an upcoming Disney Plus project. While nothing has been confirmed, all of the reliable sources are saying that this is for Star Wars A Droid Story, which is an upcoming animated project that will see the collaboration of Lucasfilm Animation and Industrial Light and Magic, ILM. All we know about this show is from Disney Investor Day of 2020, and the description says it's going to be a canon adventure for Disney Plus featuring R2-D2 and 3PO, guided by a new hero. We'll keep our eyes peeled, but as we know, Anthony Daniels does not let anyone else play his character, and why should he? He is the embodiment of C-3PO, and nobody else will ever be able to fill those shoes as well as him. And as we also know, C-3PO and R2-D2 are rumoured for Obi-Wan Kenobi. But in terms of motion capture, this is almost certainly for a droid story. Time will tell, but it's great to see him back as C-3PO after the sequel trilogy. So now I turn it over to you guys. What did you make of everything we spoke about in today's video? Let me know down below. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please may I ask you to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and a huge welcome if you are, and why not consider becoming a patron? The link is down there in the description, and over there you get access to over 100 videos that are not found here on YouTube, and I must say, it's a much more unfiltered side of me. But until the next one, my dear friends, may the Force be with you all. I'm Star Wars Meg. Have a good one.